Did you know the average person consumes 17 teaspoons of sugar a day? That's more than double the recommended limit. But it's not just about sugar. It's about why we're always hungry and reaching for it. Let's dive in. If you ever found yourself always hungry or craving something sweet, even when you know you shouldn't, this video is for you. Hunger and sugar cravings can feel like an endless cycle, especially in today's fast-paced, stress-filled world. But what if I told you there's a way to break free? Stick with me because I'm going to be sharing simple hacks to help you to curb those cravings naturally. Let me know if this sounds familiar. You just ate, your stomach is growling, or worse, you're staring at ice cream in the freezer thinking, I'm going to have just one bite. Sugar cravings and constant hunger don't just disrupt your day, they affect your energy, mood, and even your sleep. And let's be honest, they can derail your health goals, leaving you feeling frustrated and out of control. So what's behind all of this? Well, first, let's talk about hormones. When your blood sugar spikes, like after eating that donut, it crashes quickly, making you feel hungry again. Hormones like ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and leptin, the fullness hormone, can get thrown out of balance. Actually, a lack of sleep completely throws these hormones out of whack. A Stanford study showed that when you lack sleep, you end up with too little leptin in your body. When you're sleep deprived, your brain is looking for extra calories to keep it going. So what happens is your brain tells you that you're hungry even though you don't actually need food at that moment. Then that drives you to all of the foods that you can't resist, like cookies, muffins, and chips. The end result? Sleep deprivation decreases leptin, which leads to constantly feeling hungry and overeating, which slows down your metabolism. This chain of events leads you to, you guessed it, weight gain. Then there's ghrelin. Ghrelin is secreted primarily in the lining of the stomach, and it increases hunger. It's the other hormone that's linked to sleep and weight. Ghrelin is also known as the appetite stimulating hormone. It's the hormone that's responsible for increasing your hunger and driving you to handfuls of chocolate-covered almonds. Or maybe that's just me. The role of ghrelin is basically the exact opposite of leptin. It tells your brain when you need food, when it should stop burning calories, and when it should store energy as fat. When you sleep, ghrelin levels decrease because naturally sleep requires far less energy than when you're awake. When you don't get enough sleep, you end up with too much ghrelin in your body, so your body thinks you're hungry and needs more calories. What happens is it stops burning calories because it thinks that there's a shortage. Sleep also gives you more control over your brain. How? Brain imaging scans from UC Berkeley showed that sleep deprivation caused increased brain activity in the amygdala. That's the area of your brain that's associated with motivation to eat. The amygdala is the survival-based and reactive part of your brain. Some studies also show that correlation between lack of sleep and reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex part of your brain. That's responsible for decision-making and self-control, which means that your ability to make healthy decisions is severely reduced when you lack sleep. In a study done by the journal Sleep, they looked at two groups of participants. The first group had 4 nights of normal sleep, about 8.5 hours. The second group had restricted sleep, about 4.5 hours. The second sleep-deprived group was unable to resist snacks such as cookies, candy, and chips, even though just 2 hours before they had consumed a meal that supplied 90% of their daily caloric needs. Additionally, they ate nearly twice as much fat as the group that had slept for 8 hours. The effects of sleep loss and appetite were most powerful in the late afternoon and early evening, times when snacking has been linked to weight gain. The researchers also found that sleep deprivation boosts the pleasure and satisfaction gained from eating. Not getting enough shut-eye leads to eating more high-carb, high-fat foods and high-sugar foods when you're tired. Straight up, the more you sleep, the better you eat. Skimping on sleep reinforces bad eating habits and also impacts your decision making. Bottom line, if you want to control your appetite, get more sleep. Then there's stress. Cortisol can make your body crave quick energy in the form of sugar. So let's talk about stress because it's a major culprit behind constant hunger and sugar cravings. Now, when you're stressed, your body releases a hormone called cortisol, which is often referred to as the stress hormone. Cortisol's job is to help your body deal with perceived threats, and one of the ways it does this is by signaling your brain to refuel. This is why when you're stressed, you might find yourself craving high-calorie, quick energy foods, so things like cookies, chips, or ice cream. Here's the kicker. This isn't just in your head. Your body is literally preparing for what it thinks is an emergency. But in today's world, those emergencies are things like deadlines, traffic, or juggling family responsibilities, not something that actually requires extra calories for survival. So all that stress-driven eating ends up sabotaging your health goals chemicals instead of helping you. And it doesn't stop there. Chronic stress doesn't just make you crave sugar, it also messes with the hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin that I mentioned earlier. That makes it harder for you to know when you're truly hungry or full. It's like your body's hunger signals get completely out of sync. But don't worry, there's hope. Reducing stress can actually reduce your cravings. Simple practices like deep breathing, mindfulness, regular exercise, and getting enough sleep can lower cortisol levels and help you take back control of your hunger. And let's not forget about emotional eating. After a stressful meeting or a tough day, that chocolate bar isn't just food, it's comfort. But the relief is temporary and the cycle starts again. So how do you tackle emotional eating? Well, pause and reflect. When you feel a craving hit, ask yourself, am I physically hungry or am I stressed, bored, or upset? Taking a moment to check in with yourself can stop emotional eating in its tracks. Find alternatives. Instead of reaching for food, try a non-food activity to soothe your emotions. Things like journaling, taking a walk, or maybe even calling a friend. Plan ahead. Keep healthier snacks on hand so that if emotional eating strikes, you can reach for a better option instead of sugary treats. Breaking the cycle of emotional eating takes time, but even small steps can make a huge difference. By understanding what's really driving your cravings, you can regain control and feel more in tune with your body. If you're looking for tips on how to work through emotional eating, make sure to check out this video right here. Here's the craziest part. Sugar actually hijacks your brain. It triggers the same reward pathways as addictive drugs, making you crave more and more. That's why one cookie often leads to 5. But don't worry, there are actually ways to outsmart sugar and take back control. And if you're ready to take it to the next level, check out my Sugar Secrets course, where I'll teach you how to beat sugar cravings for good and uncover hidden sugars lurking in foods that you eat every day that you wouldn't even suspect. There's a link in the description below, so don't miss it. All right, let's talk solutions. First up, natural appetite suppressants. These simple, powerful foods may also help keep you full for longer and reduce your cravings so that you're not constantly reaching for snacks. Avocado. This creamy fruit isn't just delicious, it's packed with healthy monounsaturated fats and fiber. These nutrients take longer to digest, keeping you full and satisfied. Add half an avocado to your breakfast toast or maybe your salads, and you'll notice a big difference in how long you stay satisfied. Chia seeds. Chia seeds are like magic. When mixed with liquid, they form a gel-like consistency that expands in your stomach, keeping hunger at bay. They're also loaded with omega-3s and fiber, which help regulate blood sugar. Try making a chia seed pudding, or maybe even adding a tablespoon to your smoothie, or maybe even your oatmeal. Green tea. Green tea isn't just for sipping, it is a hunger fighter. The catechins and caffeine in green tea work together to increase metabolism and curb appetite. Drinking a cup between meals can help you to fight off those sneaky cravings. Cinnamon. Cinnamon is your secret weapon for controlling blood sugar. Sprinkle it on your morning oatmeal, or maybe even add it to your coffee or use it in your smoothie. By stabilizing your blood sugar, it helps prevent those spikes and crashes that lead to cravings. Almonds. Let's not forget about almonds. These tiny powerhouses are high in protein, fiber, and healthy fats. A small handful makes the perfect snack to keep you full and satisfied between meals. And here's a pro tip. Never let yourself get too hungry. When you do, your brain is more likely to scream for sugar. So what I actually do is I always have a Ziploc bag filled with my favorite nuts. So things like almonds, walnuts, and maybe even some pepitas. That way, if a craving strikes, I'm prepared. Also, make sure to focus on balanced meals with protein, healthy fats, and fiber to keep your energy steady throughout the day. So if you're always hungry or constantly craving sugar, it's not just about willpower. It's your hormones, diet, and even stress levels working against you. The good news? You can take back control with small, simple changes, like adding some of the natural appetite suppressants to your diet that I just shared, and being mindful of your meal timing. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment below and tell me what your biggest struggle is with sugar cravings or hunger. I would love to hear your story. And don't forget to check out my next video. I'll see you there.